guys, what's going on? My name is Alyi V, and thank you guys for tuning in to my first episode of Growing Up Latina. I have the pleasure of sitting down with my first guest, Grisel Chachi del Valle. Thank you so much for coming. And I know, like, behind the scenes, I was telling you a little bit about, what I want this show to kind of embody. There's so many things I feel like make Latinas special and make us very different from the norm, the way we grew up. Well, I mean, I can only speak for myself, and then you can tell me, how you grew up. But my childhood wasn't like the normal childhood, but it also wasn't something that I regret. It wasn't like I told my mom, "Ma, why'd you do this?" I didn't understand it at the moment growing up, but now that I'm in my adulthood, I felt like, or I feel like when I have kids and I raise my kids, that there are certain things that I would take and kind of, show them how I was raised. And I feel like now with this newer generation, you don't have that anymore.
A lot of the culture gets lost with the new generation. From not speaking the Spanish, like even that. I remember growing up in the house, everything was Spanish, and at school was that you learned English. Like they weren't talking to you or speaking to you in English at the house. And I actually, it's good that they did that because it helped me. It helped me speak Spanish, and now it's so important, And even though sometimes now, I don't, no me salen las palabras, and I'm like, I'll be making up words and stuff like that, like saying English words in Spanish. Like, I think that's the Puerto Rican thing, though. But yeah.
Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
I was born in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay, you was born in
Newark, New Jersey, July. So I'm a Leo baby.
Yes.
And I was raised in Newark, New Jersey, but my family, so we were the first generation here in the U.S.
Okay.
My mom and my aunts were the last generation on the island.
Okay.
So my mother's side of the family is from Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, and then my father's side is from Cataño. Okay. But I can say that I spent many summers on the island, and that did help me with learning about my culture, learning the roots, our folkloric roots, learning the dances that represented who we were as, as Taínos, as Afro-Boricuas, So I'm so happy that she did that and that she exposed me to the island,
What does it mean to you to be a Latina? What does that mean?
To be a Latina, is fire running through your veins. You know what I mean? It's that spice. It's that passion. It's that compassion. It's loving hard. Having that borderline crazy. But just having the biggest heart. And I'm so proud to be Latina. I'm even more proud to be Puerto Rican. And knowing that, I have that African root in me and that I have that Taína blood in me, and we have that Spaniard side too. But I feel like I'm so Afro and so
I feel like you embody it.
I'm drum driven. So it's like anything like, earthy is I'm happy to be Puerto Rican. So proud of that. This little rock that's 100 by 35 and is full of magic. Like, because that's what it is, it's magic.
Before, because when I look at Mark Anthony, I'm always saying he's the Puerto Rican flag. He is the flag. And I told you that in my eyes, you're the star of that flag. Because when I look at you, you're Puerto Rico to me.
Thank you.
And then when I saw your photo, which this photo was, so let's walk everyone through this.
Yes.
You went to Puerto Rico just on a girls' trip.
Yes.
On a vacation. You booked the flights. How many girls?
6.
6 girls. You were there for what, a week?
6 days.
6 days. And okay, so 6 girls, 6 days. And then you happened to do this photo shoot. And I'm in New York, so I'm already hearing that there's a hurricane that's approaching Puerto Rico. I'm watching your Instagram live stories. You're already in Puerto Rico. You had no idea this was happening.
Not to not to how extreme it wound up being. I went to Puerto Rico. We were going to see Vicente Garcia in a concert, but because Hurricane Irma, his concert got postponed. We were already, we did this whole trip around him, around that concert, right? I knew I was gonna have this photo shoot. So we land Thursday. Friday, I have the photo shoot with Latinas Unidas. Yes. And initially, the photo shoot was supposed to be in Caja de Muerto, which is an island off of Ponce. Okay. But after Irma, the hurricane, it kind of like left it in not good conditions for us to go. So he was like, let's go to the Lago in Salinas and we could do the shoot there. I had already seen he had done a couple of models there, so it worked for me. I just wanted to shoot with him. Right. And so we actually wound up recreating a look that he did with a friend of mine, Marta Luna, who's from Venezuela. And but we did ours with the Puerto Rican flag. Okay. And I just, so that Friday, Maria was a tropical storm. Right. I didn't think and I didn't know that it was going to turn into a category 4 or 5 hurricane. Right. Like I had no clue. And then, so we do the pictures. And I remember when we did the pictures, I actually had my friends there and I told them no behind the scenes on this look. Right. I don't want anybody to post any of this. Right. You didn't want I want leakage. This for something special. And so I told the photographer as well. He was like, you know, you got it, not a problem. And then I was supposed to link up with Don Omar. And he's like, sis, are you leaving? I was like, well, yeah, I leave on Tuesday. Yeah. And he's like, no, no, no. Are you sure you're leaving? And this was Sunday late night. And I was like, yes, I'm leaving on Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday at 1 o'clock. He was like, call the airport right now and verify that you're leaving. And if you can't get off the island, call me. And I'm like, I can't get off the island. And I swear it was like alert after alert after alert that there was a category 4 now coming. And United was, I got the United alert as well. And I was just like, you know what? I think it's time to call. Ironically, I always book flights to get there, crack of dawn, enjoy the whole day. Right. Or leave on the last flight so I could enjoy the whole day. Right, That's always Chachi's MO when she goes on vacation. So the fact that I booked this trip for us and I made sure, but without knowing that, no, we're going to leave on the first flight from San Juan to Newark, New Jersey. That's the 1:30 flight. And that was the one flight that didn't get canceled that day. You know what I mean? Like
that was crazy.
And one of the last flights that left the island that afternoon. I got home at 6:45 to Newark, and at 8:08, Maria started her wrath on the island. You know, Wednesday was the day of turmoil, but she started Tuesday night. Like and I remember on Monday when I tried calling the airport again and I couldn't change the flight, I just said, you know what? I'm leaving. And I'm very, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe that the intention you put out there and how I can manifest things. Right. And I was like, I am leaving the island, so I'm not going to stress. My best friend, Reina, she's like, hey, let's go to the supermarket to at least get something in case. And I was like, no, we're leaving the island. And then I actually tricked the girls and I was like, okay, all right, get dressed. And instead of going to the supermarket, we went to dance bomba on Monday night. That's the video you saw. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and be in turmoil. I'm going to enjoy what I'm experiencing because I didn't know how bad it was going to be. Right. And then it hits and then it happens and then it's like, you know, so. When did you decide to release those photos? I didn't. The photographer, that was the last photo the photographer posted on Tuesday night. So when I got home from my flight, I see that he posts, and then when he posts, he says that Puerto Rico was about to experience the longest night in history. And he put his emotion and what he felt for the picture. And then I remember saying, I wanted this for something special, but I didn't think that was the appropriate or special time. But it was I was really moved powerful by the photo as well. The fact that I always pick my pictures and he picked this one and it was like the right timing, the right photo, the right position. It was just everything was so right. And then I wrote what the picture represented to me. And then the next day, it's like the video has over 100,000 views. What song is that you sing? It's a bomba from Puerto Rico. Okay. It's called Campo. And I first listened or heard it because even the song was perfect. Exactly. It was crazy. Like, but that's the thing that everybody's like, send me the video. And I'm like, there is no video. The girls told me to sing a song for the photographer. I could have sang anything. And that was what came to mind and heart and what came out my mouth. And it just represented so much for so many people. and
I cried.
It went viral, and I was like, everybody's like, oh my God, you're this, you're that, and I'm like, no, I'm just a girl who wanted to do something nice and beautiful, and we just put it out on the right. He put it out the right time, and then I used all the love that I was getting from the photo, because I think with a good, there's always the not so good, or the yin and yang, you know what I mean? So I chose to focus on the positive that was coming from the photo and how my platform was growing. And I decided to use that to make something special for the island. And then after the hurricane, I got together with a group of girls from Newark, New Jersey, and we established and created Latinas Unidas, and it's a nonprofit now that has delivered successfully over 250,000 pounds to the island. You know what I mean? So I'm so proud of us, I'm so proud of us putting our forces together and really, showing that camaraderie, that sister union that, sometimes we don't see in this race. You know what I mean? I feel like we should support each other more, and something so toxic and devastating brought a union so beautiful, that there's always a good. You always have to find the blessing in the lesson. And in Taino, hurricanes mean rebirth. So damn, Maria, did you have to do us like that? But
it was crazy.
We'll take it. I think this is going to bring about a better Puerto Rico.
Let's talk about some of the things that when you go to Puerto Rico is unique to you. Like for me, when my family went to Puerto Rico, or whenever I would go to Puerto Rico, there's certain things that I pick up. Definitely coquito. Definitely duty-free coquito. I get it all the time. When my dad takes me to the beach, I get the little dulce de coco.
Yes.
It comes in aluminum foil.
Yes.
I can't find that anywhere here.
Yes.
It doesn't taste the same.
Yes.
My grandfather would get me, before he passed away, he would go to Puerto Rico every year, typically during wintertime because he had arthritis. So a lot of elderly people will actually go to like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico to, kind of just get out of the cold. The pilon, which is the red lollipop that has the sesame seeds. Yes. So what is like unique to you that when you go to Puerto Rico, it's like, I'm gonna hit this spot up, or I gotta get this?
I think the gofio is one of the childhood memories. It's that powdered corn thing.
Yes.
It comes in a little cone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even taste all that great, but it was so, I remember as a child, like putting it in my mouth and having to say to my cousins, gofio. And it's like, it just like goes all over the place.
Yeah,
and it was, so I don't really even eat them or eat it, but it's something that every time I go, I try to bring the traditional candies.
Yeah.
Yes, the ajonjolí, the pilons, which were so awesome. The little ani balls.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The white Hennessy.
Yes.
You could only get it at Aguadilla Airport.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's important to me has always been family. So going to the family and eating, because they always try to feed everybody and make sure that everybody eats, like just being home away from home, and having that.
No, I remember, awesome. What's so crazy, because we just passed the holidays, and my friends always make fun of me because we go in on Christmas Eve. I'm like, no, Latinos celebrate Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we don't really celebrate it.
You can do whatever you want on Christmas Day.
But I'm like, if I don't go to my mother's house on Christmas Eve, is a problem, because that's really, and we bring the pleneros out. Like we go in, and a lot of people don't understand that. And I'm like,
they don't understand that parrandas are like Christmas caroling for, un blanquito, vamos a decir. Like, it's the same thing. Yeah. So instead of Christmas carols, we have parranda music. And we will knock on your door or at 2 a.m. or at 1 a.m.
Disrespectful,
and
we
do
don't care.
A salto navideño. And
your mom will have a doobie on.
Esta la trulla, pa' que te levante. Like, it's that kind of thing. Yeah. But I love that about us. I love that about us. And I think I love that the most about Puerto Ricans is that happiness, esa alegría que llevamos por dentro, that even though we've been tested beyond the limit, that happiness and that loving heart that we still carry, and that smile that even when things are like, crumbling behind you, you're still smiling and you're optimistic and you're looking at the bright side that you have life, so that resilience and that beauty of our people,
Do you feel like there's a stereotype that us Latinas have that is
what
totally
you talking about, nena? Like
it's totally false in the Spanish culture? Like, it's like, what? Because, I'm going to be honest, growing up in high school, I went to a performing arts high school, and
me too.
I remember I was auditioning for Shakespeare. I wanted to be Juliet. I really, really wanted to be Juliet. And we were auditioning for several plays, and she was like, I think you should be Peaches. Just be Peaches, Alexandra. I'm like, no, I want to be Juliet. But she's like, it's your accent. You can't be Juliet. And I'm like, I could be a Puerto Rican Juliet.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, I was heartbroken because I felt like I was being already stereotyped.
Yeah, stereotyped.
And at the time, Peaches was a stripper, the role she wanted me to audition for.
Ironically, right?
Yeah.
It sucks that as a Latina, there aren't many roles offered to us, you know, that's not a maid or a mistress or a restaurant owner, or, you know what I mean? Like, usually you don't see the Latina that's a doctor, the Latina who's a psychologist, the Latina who's a judge, a Supreme Court. Like, you know, you don't see that, but we do have those. You know what I mean? But they don't highlight those. So I always encourage us to create the content. Create it for us.
Right.
Like, you think you can't see yourself on screen, then that's your vision. And why don't you create something so that people like us, you know, like, we see ourselves on screen. Like, it's, unfortunately, we fall in a limbo. Latinas fall in the limbo that you're not white enough and you're not black enough, ironically. You know, so when it comes to a film that's all, you know, Afros, like, we want it, but it's like, you're not us. But we are. Because where I come from, you know, years ago, and if you study the history, you know, I have African descent. I do. Yeah. So you, like, it's not fair for them to tell you because you're too light. You can't, I'm sorry, you're too, you know, so create it. I think that your teachers did you a disservice. I wish you would have had my teachers. Miss Bland, who told me I could do anything I wanted to do as long as I put my heart in it, and I carried, you know, and my grandmother always told me, shut people up. Yeah. But then Miss Bland told me, you could do whatever you want to do. You know, as long as you do it right and you do it just, you can do it. So Miss Bland would have encouraged you to work on your accent. Right. She would have helped you with your accent. She would not have put you in a box. You understand? Like, and that's what I love, and I would not trade it for the world. I'm so happy that I was raised in Newark. You know, I don't have the thickest skin, but I'm a tough cookie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I saw a lot growing up, and I experienced a lot growing up, but I also think that it molded and helped me become the girl or the woman that I am today. You know, so I don't think, you know, I think we could study anything, you know, and you know, we do have accents. I root people. I don't look at people like a race, a gender, a sexuality. I look at people like, you are my brother, you are my sister. If I cut you, if you cut me, we both bleed the same color. Right. You know, so I don't look at people like opportunity or try to put him in a box, because that's not how I was raised, right? But I feel that it is so important to, if you're gonna post a Beyonce cover or a Beyonce picture or a J-Lo picture. I post my J-Lo pictures all the time because I'm proud of her, you know what I mean? And she has been a mentor, or not but a role model for me to follow and footsteps to follow, right? But you're saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna come, or I support you, I support you. But you're supporting the artists who are already established, the people who are already winning. Like, you're not supporting me because, okay, you may come and like a picture, but you didn't even repost, you didn't come, you didn't spread the word, I celebrate all my friends' victories. You too. And my friends are like, you know, child, like, and I've had people tell me like, but people don't do that for you. But I don't do it so people could do it for me. Right. I do it because that's who I am. And I don't do it to be like, oh, look what I'm doing, or no, I just lead by example. Yeah. That's it. I lead by example. You know, and if they don't do it for me, that's okay too. You know what I mean? But you kind of start weeding out the ones that, you know, show up to the show every time the show's finished. Yeah. And it's like, you saw the flyer. Like, what part of the game is that? You know, like how it's a little, you know, discouraging. You know what I mean? Like, so I just promote your friends. You know, if your friend has a hustle, that's your hustle too. If your friend has a headache, that's your headache too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So supporting, especially when it's a baby, because that's when it matters the most. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And just let everybody know where to find you at. You guys can find me at Chachi Nation on Instagram. It's the same for Facebook. SoundCloud is Grisel del Valle. We're working on the website, so the website will be launching and live for 2018. And there you guys can find some of my original content, music, pictures that I haven't shared with other people, you know, some blogging that I will be doing because of this journey that I've also experienced as a philanthropist, as a humanitarian, that kind of like made my life well-rounded at this point. So there's going to be so much content to share, but I know a lot of people have been asking me for the YouTube channel and the music. And I will say this, 2018 is coming so loaded that they're going to have too much of me. They're going to be like, ay, está de nuevo, Chachi de nuevo. But yeah, it is. But thank you. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming to my stuff. Thank you for believing in the girl. You know what I mean? Thank you for giving me
Thank you for believing in me.
Thank you for giving me your first episode of Growing Up Latina. Yes. It is my honor to be here in this little
Chachi.
Yes, when you're the next Oprah. Yeah. And when, you know what I mean? With your own channel. Like, I can't wait to be like, remember when we were in Brooklyn freezing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chachi.